up, y'all? Good Monday. Good to see y'all. Listen, y'all. If y'all don't know, this is TFG Tonight, and I'm your host, Mr. Haynes. And this is the best morning show that you can watch at night. Y'all listen, that's Devin, that's Lee, and that's Kenny.
I'm trying to be nice.
Black said we got two Americans.
Say to my brother Black, man, I think you could be a preacher. I ain't never heard somebody that use a curse word and then read a scripture right after.
So let me state for the record, I am a misogynist. You know,
yeah.
Pull out your card, Doc. He's
and I'm a chauvinist as well. Anybody who knows me knows that.
That's right. That
Now I can go back to minding my own business. Either that boy is Benjamin Button or somebody lying.
And listen, and that boy may be mentally 12, but he's 34.
You bad boy, you don't do it again.
I'll let Black articulate a little bit better than that.
Nope.
Okay.
Never mind.
It's good for the soul. It's like medicine, right?
Yeah, for real.
That's all I gotta say. I wish I had one of them applause buttons to, like that.
Good morning, y'all. Happy Monday.
And a happy Monday it is. Everybody, what is up? I am so elated to be with y'all. And listen, everybody's here. Now, for how long? I don't know, but they here. And I mean, they is all here. Hey, y'all.
What up?
What is up, everybody? Hey, Carl, thank you for joining us.
Hey, what up, CC?
I just want to apologize, y'all. It was my fault last week. It was bittersweet, but it's okay. Everything's good now, but it was my fault. But we only got a few more shows left. And listen, if we say something y'all like, please, by all means, share it with us if you can. If not, I'll have Black Senior Prophecy. And only the way he can. Now, y'all good? Everybody all right?
Yes,
We good, brother.
Good. Well, listen, it's Black Love Series all day today, and I think we got 2 more episodes after this, and then we out here for the year. Two more, and we done. So, but again, remember the last episode? We coming in. We're gonna do some what do you call that?
Some flashbacks.
Past. That's it.
Flashbacks.
Yeah. So I'm excited to do that with y'all.
Yeah.
But listen, before we get started, Brother Kenny, you got some housekeeping to do, and I'll be glad to know Devin won't be winning this week.
No, she won't. Double D, Lady D, she was incognito. Busy. She was MIA because I was putting out APBs for her picks, and I was getting crickets.
I'll tell you who she picked. She picked the Bears. She picked the Bears. She picked the
That's a good one.
That she be giving it to
okay. Yeah, got you.
They look good,
She said, how about my Eagles? Yeah, they look good. I picked the Ravens to win that, but I figured it would be close. But the Eagles did look good, though. Got to give the Eagles props. So let's get down to it real quick. We do our TFG Tonight NFL Pick 3 contest I started. This week it was the Thanksgiving games, and those were the 3 games. And unfortunately, only 3 of us of the crew participated because Lady D didn't get her picks into me. So she's out this week. She's back. But let me get the results from the Thanksgiving games. Bears at the Lions. And that coach got fired too, by the way. So there you have it. So the Lions got the win. Black, Brennan, and myself, we all picked the Lions. So that's a good one. Then we had the Giants at the Cowboys. Cowboys got another victory. That's 2 in a row. They won their first game at home in 2024. Black, Brenton, and myself, we all picked the Cowboys. Here's the kicker. The Dolphins 5-6 at the Packers 8-3. These 2 brothers over here, man, they didn't want to roll with their boy. They picked the Dolphins. I picked the Packers. So this week,
you needed this win.
This week, I went 3-0. Brenton went 2-1, and Black went 2-1. Devin gets an asterisk because she didn't participate, so her record is going to stay the same. So the season record right now, we have a new person in first place. It is Brother Brenton. No, he's still in first place. I'm sorry.
Yeah, still
in first place at 21-10 for the season. Black is second at 20-11. Devin is she's in the mix. She's third, 17-11. And I'm bringing up the rear, but I'm coming back. I'm 17-14. So there you have it. Brenton right now is in first place. So now let's get our pick 3 contest out the way for this week. Let's start with my first game. We got the Atlanta Falcons 6-6 at the 10-2 Vikings. Kirk Cousins is going back to the place that kicked him out the door. He was with the Vikings for almost 4 or 5 years. So we got, again, Falcons 6-6 at the Vikings 10-2. Devin, who you got?
Vikings.
She's going with Skull. She's going with Vikings. All right. Brother Black, who you got?
This ain't an easy pick, but I'm going to go with the Vikings too, but something telling me Kirk might show out. But I'm going to go with the Vikings.
All
Man,
right.
They got their butt dusted last week, though.
That's why I'm thinking.
Yeah, he threw like 4 interceptions too.
Yep.
Kirk Cousins did. Brent, who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Falcons, but it make me a little nervous. Y'all right, but I may be. Now listen, if I lose these 3, I got to put them L's on Devin's record.
Yeah. Well, I'm rolling with the Vikings, even though they had a close one at home versus the Cardinals yesterday. I think they're gonna pull it out. So we're gonna go with. All right, game 2. Bears 4-8. They got a brother as their interim coach right now, Thomas Brown. At the Niners 5-7, and they are a walking infirmary. If you don't know, Christian McCaffrey is done for the year for the 49ers. PCL injury. All right, Miss Devin, who you got? Bears at Niners.
You know what? I still got to do the Niners.
Okay, she's going with the Niners. All right. Okay. Brother Black, who you got?
I'm going to roll with Chicago.
He's going with the Bears. Okay. All right. Brenton, who you got?
Yeah, that's that again. You picking some good ones, Kenny. I gotta tell you, but Brock is playing this. He's gonna play again, but
yeah.
And where they playing at?
It's at 49ers. It's Santa Clara.
Okay,
Niners at home.
49ers gonna win. 49. If they was bad, it's gonna play in the cold. They wasn't gonna win. But yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going with the Bears too. I think Caleb Williams is gonna continue that second half performance he had against the Lions, and the Niners are kind of beat up. So I'm gonna go with the Bears. Okay. All right. Our last game, we got the 8-4 Chargers at the 11-1 Chiefs. This is a big time AFC West division. And oh, by the way, if you don't know, the Chiefs have already clinched their playoff.
They did. They did. So
again,
they made home
Chargers
in.
8-4. Yeah, Chargers 8-4 at the Chiefs 11-1. Lady D, who you got?
Chargers.
Yeah, she's going with the Chargers. Brother Black, who you got?
I'm going with Chiefs. They're gonna use this game to right the ship.
Okay. Brandon, who you got?
Now, I think they putting folks on the bench. So I think they clinched. They gonna put folks on the bench. I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
Going with the Chargers.
Yeah, them boys got to pay some bills.
You know, the Chiefs have won every game this year by single digits. They have not dominated at all offensively.
They shouldn't have beat the Raiders.
No, they shouldn't have. I think I'm gonna go with the Chargers on this one too. I think their luck is gonna run out this time as far as these lucky breaks. So again, those are our pick 3s, and then actually next week will be our last pick 3 for the year. So whoever is in the lead gets the lunch money next week. So we will see. Will Brother Brent and Brother Black, will it come down to them? They're gonna be neck and neck. So we're gonna see. And oh, by the way, I ain't talking to you about no lunch. You trying to get dinner. You trying to get dinner and all this. Chris and all that kind of money. I don't know what you talking about.
That's funny.
Speaking of playoffs, these teams are eliminated already. Patriots, Raiders, and Giants. That's a wrap. They are eliminated from the playoffs. So there you have it.
All right. Well, thank you, sir. I just think the Chargers got more to play for than them doggone Chiefs. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But listen, y'all, it's a Black Love series all week. all week, all Monday. And so I came up with some conversations that I want to have with us. I thought about the holiday seasons, and I think people are, for some reason, they want to emphasize people fighting at the house, and during the holidays. And so I just like, interesting. Well, let's have a conversation with the family about these things. And so these things are kind of geared towards how people have been, what kind of stirs the pot in these family gatherings during the holidays. And so again, I just thought it was fair for us to have this conversation. So I want to start with, just getting right off the bat. Can there be Lord, that boy didn't go to school, did he?
We understand where you were trying to
ask.
We got what you were saying.
Yeah, okay. Can there be a healthy balance when arguing? So again, and I think we do a good job. And again, you guys have actually helped me to become a better, person who can conversate. You know what I'm saying? Because I can be okay with my position, and I also be okay with other people's position if I don't agree. But I do think that there are some symptoms here when people get in over their heads, and so I just wanted to see if we could get some clarity about this. So, Kenny, can we have healthy arguments in relationships?
Oh, absolutely. I believe you can, but I also think the key to that being healthy is you have to be, instead of listening to respond, you got to learn to listen to understand, even if you may not agree, because some of us aren't very good listeners. We're gonna base our argument off our emotions rather than fact. And so a lot of times when you arguing, or I don't like to say arguing, you have a difference of opinion, you have to kind of check your emotions at the door. And just, kind of be level-headed and be willing to listen, even though you may not agree with everything the person you're in debate with.
Okay. So, well, I'm going to just ask this same question around the table before I get into the discussion. Sister, do you agree? Can you have a healthy argument?
Yeah, I completely agree with Ken. Like everything, just the whole listening, not listening to response. But we all know this doesn't happen in
sure. Yeah, we're about to talk about it. Black, are we going 3 for 3?
Absolutely.
Okay.
In fact, I think there's an art to arguing, one that I've devoted my life to doing, working in the field that I do. But even as it applies to relationships, there's an art to it. So it requires certain things. It requires a level of maturity. You certainly have to listen. And I think it requires you to be open-minded. If you go into an argument where you're completely one-sided and rigid, then you already upset the balance. And most importantly, to an argument, to me, it has to have a resolution. I hate when people argue for the sake of arguing.
Okay.
So there has to be some level of resolution. I'll go further as we get into this to talk about, to me, how it applies to Black love.
Okay, good. So then this is where I want to go with this then, because in my opinion, I think there's a difference between arguing and having a discussion. And so in having a discussion, you can still disagree and get your point across. But this is for me. This is my perspective about arguing. You begin to argue when emotions begin to get high, or someone becomes triggered, or someone's getting upset. So in that moment, like, everybody can't get you angry. Everybody can't get you upset, right? So with that position, can you get upset? Can you get angry having a conversation with somebody else and then still keep it in a healthy manner? What do y'all think about? Okay, so shook her head. I'm gonna start with Devin. First. Okay, Devin, what do you think?
I think that when you're in a relationship, your partner, after a while, they learn your triggers, and they learn how to poke at you. Like a stranger or somebody that I work with, if we disagree on something, they can't make me upset or make me argue with them.
Right.
I'll be like, yeah, you're right. No, I get it. Let's just agree to disagree and move on. But I feel like when you get in a relationship, and I don't know if it's that after a while we get bored or we're still pissed off from the discussion when we had it 3 days ago. It's like we learn what we can say to that person to get under their skin so that you can have some, I call them heated fellowships. And it usually doesn't turn into a resolve.
So you thinking that it's being purposeful to provoke intimacy?
I don't think it's to provoke intimacy. I just think you pissed off because of something that happened before. And something just was, you either saw something on TV or someone said something or someone called and you still bothered by it. So now you feel like you got another point to prove or something like that. So you're going to bring it up. I'm the least guilty of that in my relationship. I'm going to be honest, because I don't argue. I'm a shut down and won't talk to your ass for 2 days person. I'm not an argue person. And a lot of times when you're in a relationship, you end up with the opposite human that kind of learns how to get a reaction out of someone like me. Because that's the best case scenario, because I'm just going to look at your ass like you're invisible. You Casper to me when you piss me off. And so you have to learn me. My son and is one of those people who learn how to do that. They know what to say to me to get me to go to hell off, and then you want to call me crazy or unreasonable or something like that.
Okay, Black, what were you finna say?
This is why I called it an art. When you gave the definition of arguing, I prided myself for a long time on being able to argue without being loud, evoking emotion. It's an art. I am vicious. I have been vicious with my words. The Bible says that speaks about the power of the tongue. And when I was younger, I argued with the perspective that you cannot win against me. And I took a great deal of pride in knowing that I could be vicious and sharp with my words without ever raising my voice or whatever. And if anything, I took the emotion out of it. It wasn't until I became a lot more mature that I realized that too, the callousness by which that I did it with no emotion in many cases was worse than if I had hit the person they said. And even now, even with friendships, when it comes to Black love, I'm applying this to familial love, friendship, and your romantic love. This just played itself out a while, not too long ago, on my show.
Right.
The truth of the matter is, if I'm yelling, I am really not upset. When I'm upset, I'm pointed. I'm calculated in what I'm trying to say. And if I want to win and be vicious, I'll go for the jugular. And as I become more mature, my view is not to win anymore. I've had to learn to step back, and it's okay to lose an argument. I don't have to always be right now.
Okay.
Now I try to look at the bigger picture, and that's why I talk about a resolution. That as I've gotten older, most things now is just not worth the time for me to even go there. Even if it's somebody I love, it's just not that important. So I'm more apt now to say, you got it.
Okay. Yeah. That's good. That's going to bring up one more part. Kenny, what you thinking as far as the emotion of it? I'll go.
I think Lady D and Brother Black, they pretty much hit on every point. But the one thing I will say about arguments in Black love relationships, I think why everybody wants to be right. I mean, so what is the prize if you're right? What do you win? What's behind door number 3? So my thing is, it's about your ego, really, because whatever that subject matter be, it's probably because you want to point your finger at your who you're intimate with. Say, hey, I got you. I told you I was right. But who really wins in that though?
That's right. To what cost?
Who really wins? To what cost?
Yeah. So. Yes, sir.
And so I wouldn't be me if I didn't add a little bit of ratchetness to this.
We knew that was coming. We just wanted to win.
No, but I'm keeping it so serious.
Okay.
This is the other final piece for me, is that I will argue with you if I love you. Because if I don't give a shit about you, then not only am I going to be vicious, I'm going to do my best to embarrass you. So when you talk about black love, Brother Kenny, if I love you as a friend, and certainly if I'm involved with you romantically, there's a line I won't cross because it's going to have some resolution. I made it a point in my relationships not to go to bed angry, no matter what. I wanted to make sure that that person know, even we disagreed and, but baby, I love you. I never went a day without telling my wife I love her. Never, ever. Mm-hmm. So she always knew I loved her. And even in relationships, like, damn, you shouldn't have done that. Now, if you're a nasty, filthy, no good bitch, then you're not going to win that argument.
Okay. So for me, there's an irresponsibility then, because I of course I'm talking to a more mature us, but we know what we used to be, right? And how we used to be, right? And again, Devin says she's never been like that, but again, I know
I ain't either. I've never been to argue. So
okay. What you say, Sherry? Just cussing.
and we can get that too, Sherry. We understand. That's probably what you do.
And again, there's an irresponsibility when it comes to arguing, because again, we brought up the point about what's the end game, what's the result? Mm-hmm. Are you trying? Right. So again, as Devin said, mm-hmm. somebody's trying to provoke me into an emotion. Well, that's irresponsible, right? Again, if there's a conversation, Lee said that I'm doing it because I love you. Now, again, y'all take that up with him. I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's what he's telling y'all. So, but for me, so what is the responsible thing to do when having a conversation? Because again, we were talking, Kenny made the point about wanting to be right. Well, that's irresponsible, because sometimes to what cost of being right. So then what's the responsible approach then to having a conversation? Because what I'm hearing is we should not lead conversations to arguments. We should just let it be what it is.
Well, I love the question, and sorry, jump in, folks, but this is where I do think there's a healthy benefit to it. As human beings, I think it's unrealistic to think you're going to agree on everything. I don't care how much you like each other and how compatible you are. I don't even necessarily know that I want to be with someone that sees everything my way.
Right.
That doesn't help me grow. I've often said, I don't want to get up to a movie theater and we're standing at the marquee. Well, baby, what you want to see? Whatever you want to see. Well, I think about the scene from whatever the movie
America.
Mm-hmm. No, I think there is a healthy dose and a benefit to having somebody that says no.
Okay.
No, I don't agree with that. There is a certain amount of juice and sexuality that comes from having someone disagree with me, so that, okay, we can have that balance, that discourse, that jarring back and forth, as long as it doesn't get disrespectful, but yeah, ain't nothing wrong with being called a such and such and so, and especially when you grab a bitch by the scruff of her neck. Yeah.
I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying with it. Carol says, one thing I don't do is go to bed angry with my partner. We're going to talk until we resolve the issue and have expressed and respected each other's opinions. Okay, Devin, you got something else on this? Because
if y'all haven't guessed it, I'm capable of cussing somebody out.
No way, not you.
I would never.
But if you make me cuss you out, now I'm pissed off, and I don't really want to talk to you for a while because it took you a minute to get there. Yes, and I've warned you about leave me alone. And usually if I cuss you out, it's because you playing in my face. You peeing on my leg and you telling me it's raining. That's a good way to get me to cuss you out from here to Acapulco and back. And then I don't want to talk to you no more because you keep playing with me and you playing in my face. But depending on who I cuss out, they may not come back from that well because that's not my character. I am the quiet, calm, leave me alone now. I'm that individual. I'm not if I cuss you out like one of my kids, I feel like you messing with me. You messing with my blood pressure. You giving me a headache, and it's unnecessary when you could have just been real with me from the jump. Now I don't want to talk to you. I don't give a damn if we go to bed angry. I don't give a damn if I don't talk to you the next Thursday. Leave me alone because you pissed me off.
Yeah. And
but that's where the little sex appeal comes into play, because looking like you do as a man.
And that's where y'all are effed up as men, because you do get turned on by that. That is crazy.
That's where you poke up and say, you say, baby, you mad?
No,
you ain't mad.
He's the only one that's doing that.
I'm sick of it.
Sick of him. Again,
it's just
right. That's it. Hey, Demi, good to see you. Happy holidays to you too.
Hey, what's up, Demi? How are you?
So, Kenny, you got something else on this? Because
it was something that Cece said in the comments that that I wanted to focus on. I think she says that like once she gets her whatever the discussion is or argument is, she said what she's gonna say and she's done with it. On. Yeah, move on. But what if your partner isn't satisfied with that? So you're telling me that you can say what you want to say and be done with it, but he can't. So now there's like, is there a control issue? I'm not saying Cece, I'm just saying in general when I hear people say that. So basically you're saying that you say your piece and I can't say mine.
Yeah.
Now, how does that work? And
if she answers, we'll put it up. But this is what I want to say ultimately, because I do believe to Black point, I was going to bring up the Coming to America part. But for me, I do want us to not have to agree on everything, because here's number one it does for me. It diminishes sincerity, because there's no way for everybody to agree.
Right.
And then I don't trust you. Right. If I don't hear sincerity from you, then I don't trust you, because I do believe that I don't want to get graphic, but again, that means if you're doing everything I'm telling you to do, right? Like Eddie, then I should never go to bed without, some of that filthy nasty. Because again, do what I take, right? So again, well, I'm just saying that. So then it's the sincerity for me, right? And again, as we are, if we come to a place, I hear what Kenny's saying, yeah, I do want to hear your piece, but let me say mine. And then again, we just agree to disagree. Right. But don't if you show me a relationship, say we never argue, y'all got problems.
Right.
And I'm telling you, he got another apartment with with a family. Because it just ain't happening. So again, there is a balance, but again, that also, like you said, it does have to be a resolution. And again, what we're saying here, again, this is maturity talking now, because we've been through some things, you know what I'm saying? We done jack some stuff up. So again, it's not about the right and the wrong or whatever. It's what's the point? And then if we don't agree, well then, okay, we're just going to keep walking together.
That's right.
And that's just how it is. So,
that's right.
So yes, please, let's have conversation. Let's have it in a healthy manner, but let's not get angry and don't try to provoke nobody, because it's irresponsible to try to upset somebody. Okay, because if your point ain't making no sense, then it ain't making no sense, and it is what it is. But don't show insincerity and just pretend like, yeah, I'm just gonna go with everything, because then I ain't gonna trust you. Okay, all right, well, good. That is so. Yeah, okay, good stuff. Okay, well, my next point: resentment. She started laughing. Have you all, I mean, I'm not asking this to be facetious, but I'm being honest. Like, do you recall something that you resent? You know what I'm saying? In a relationship that like is that you can learn from, or that, saying we can talk through, and then be like, just give people opportunity to think some things through about resenting certain things, right? I don't know the full-fledged definition of it. I guess I should have looked it up, but what is resentment, Black? I know you right there.
I'm glad you said that, because that's kind of how I look at things. Right off the bat, if for me it gets to a point of resentment, I'm looking for the way out. If it crosses to the point, I need to. You talked about disagreeing but still being able to walk on. I don't care if we don't agree, but I need to still feel like you down with me 10 toes 100, and we can still walk together, and you got my back 100%, and so if we're looking at the definition of resentment, that's why I want to say it's the buildup of negative emotions such as anger, frustration, and disappointment.
Right.
So that's where, for me, if it gets, that's why I said if it gets to the point that I'm feeling resentment, we never got to resolving it. And it's festered, it's grown. And if I get to the point that I'm looking at you physically or virtually, and I'm, and I have to feel some way, you said where that distrust creeps in, I'm looking for the way out for me.
Okay. Sister, have you ever resented anything in a relationship then? I can't halfway know the answer.
Yeah.
I knew it.
As far as a romantic relationship, I've left everyone that I've had resentment for.
Okay.
As far as like family and things like that, I eventually get to a place where I can be cordial, but I never really trust that person. And I literally just deal with them because they are family, because I have known you for this long. But I really don't F with you. And I don't care who you are.
I'm with you. Family
Kenny,
included. I'm with you, family included.
And Kenny, you're pretty a man of humility. I mean, how does resentment for you? What does that look like?
I've had it probably only once, and it was because it was based on communication, because I'm big on communication, and I'm big on, if I feel like that you're dismissing my words and my feelings through our communication, that leads to resentment. Now it leads to more of a disappointment and anger, not no disgust and I hate your guts and I hope you get hit by a damn 18-wheeler, not that type of resentment. It just would be, it comes with, it makes me, it definitely makes me impatient, and my tolerance level goes through the roof of intolerance with it. So that's kind of been my deal with that.
Yeah, resentment for me in relationship is that I've either stayed in a relationship that I wasn't ready for, or that I was not mature enough for a certain type of relationship. And I think that for me, it brought about the emotions that I had, but at the same time, it probably put a lot of hurt on people that it didn't need to happen. Right. And again, that's just coming from maturity. Again, we're talking from a place of wisdom now, right? Through experience, that what we're saying. And so I've resented those moments because I wish I would have known better. Like I've resented, I've actually had a check handed to me for $30,000, and I resented people not showing me how to invest that money all those years ago. I was very upset about that. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I probably wouldn't even know y'all today. But that's neither here nor there. But I'm just saying, like, those are the moments for me that have produced those emotions of anger for me because of things like that. So again,
I get that. No, brother, I get that. And you brought up a pain point for me that I had to learn to let go. They say when you forgive, you have to forgive not for the other person, for yourself. So when you just brought that up, I carried a lot of resentment in that sense from family and decisions that was made that I had no control of, and I didn't get the right advice. And I had to let that go, because right now, sitting in front of you, when you say that, I do think about the road not taken.
Yeah.
And if I don't watch it, that mistrust, that resentment, it'll come right back bubbling to the surface of what coulda, shoulda, woulda been, because I question your motive for why you did it to me.
Right.
Now, now in a romantic sense, the other part I thought you was going to add to that is when you stay too long. When you stay too long in a situation that's toxic and that's just not healthy. And I've seen far too many relationships where women stay for the children. I've seen men stay because they want the appearance of being together. And what happens is, if you're not in it for the right reasons, that's where that buildup can come into play, because you got to look at this person every day And if there's no real trust and love and respect, but you're there, and so you've already got one foot out the door always. And in these current relationships where we're taught to level up and upgrade me and that type of thinking, see, I can't be with someone that's always looking to level up.
So let me say this, because the thing about, even what Carol said, I know those things come a dime a dozen, but again, that's why people are different. For me, I've never not felt that way as far as some resenting a person, because I've never stayed somewhere I didn't want to be in the first place. And then when I feel unwelcome, oh man, listen, I shoot y'all that deuce in a minute, right? It just but again, that comes because I know me. I can sit at a restaurant and eat by myself and not have a problem. That's just who I am. So again, it's the resentment comes from different experiences that lead to these different situations. So yes, I do understand that in a nutshell, and I guess that's why I've never experienced that, because that's never been my lot. Like, I literally can be by myself.
I've been in that boat, Brendan. I've been homeless and had to live with someone, and I had moments where it's
I know what you mean.
26 degrees outside, and I contemplated sleeping in my car versus going in that house. But in that moment, it's where I felt like I had to be. And there was definitely a resentment of how I was treated, because we all know that sometimes people kick you hardest when you're down. Now, what do you do with that resentment?
Yes.
It drove me. It drove my fat black ass right here to Atlanta. I vowed, sitting in Sherry's house, that I was going to come to Atlanta and succeed because of the situation I was in. And even though I didn't have no money and I didn't know anybody in Atlanta, I went back to Memphis, and on a Wednesday, with no notice, no thought, I packed everything I owned and could fit in a truck, and I moved to Atlanta. And that resentment, it drove something inside of me that you cannot fail. And I live here to this day with no real safety net. I don't have family here. I got a sister-in-law that's been divorced from my brother for 30-something years. But I thrive off of, I never want to be in that situation ever again, to be treated that way.
Yeah. No. So again, these things are just things that we talk about, because again, a lot of times you see these emotions even in holiday times, where people not having conversations and they're all of a sudden being triggered or getting to an argument, right? Again, and all these things come up, and then all of a sudden y'all boxing, and folks are being entertained by your stupidity now on social media. So again, I understand that. Demi, thank you so much.
No doubt.
All of us, we listen. We know everybody's going through, but we appreciate that. Thank you for the flowers. People don't have to be kind, and so I know that you all you mean that so much for me. Okay, all right. Let's keep it moving, because again, here's another thing that I think people deal with that we just don't understand: insecurities in relationship. Now I look this word up now. It means uncertainty or anxiety about one's self or lack of confidence. And this is what I want to say. All men are not the same. And I've said that time before, but I want to be clear about when I say, and not all women are the same. But I do know what a confident man looks like. And I know what an insecure man looks like. And that's important for people when you're dealing with relationships. You need to know the type of person you're dealing with. Because again, somebody can put on a front, but sister, what are some insecurities that you see, whether it's men or women, that we're not talking about? They can really do some damage.
I think for women, most of our insecurities just come from just our natural aging, or insecurities come from having a child and your body changes.
Okay.
Once a woman has a kid, you're not the same person. I have found that most women become single after a baby enters the relationship, because she's so focused on this baby. She can't focus on the man. She can't focus on a relationship. They can't hang out like they used to. Some men can't adapt to that. So you develop insecurities about that. You also develop insecurities once if you're in a relationship and they've cheated and you stay. A lot of people just can't become secure after that, and so then you find yourself so worried when they're not in your space or if they go out or whatever. It's just so easy to develop insecurities in a relationship. I just don't know how you get over. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay, Kenny, what you thinking about? Like, what are some insecurities that we see in relationships that really can do some damage?
I would say, specifically from the male perspective, a man's financial status. If he falls on some hard times, or he loses a big money and he's not making the type of money he used to, and his woman comes up, that's going to be a problem a lot of times for some men, for men to deal with his financial status. And, his sexual prowess too. If he ain't putting it down, like, if he ain't satisfying his woman, that definitely can cause some insecurities in that man in his relationship.
Yeah. And again, that goes back to like poking at people, right? Like that's irresponsible for a person to really expose or try to exploit someone's insecurities. You know what I'm saying?
Women are good at that, especially the sexual prowess thing.
Men are too, though.
They are, but it hits harder for when a woman if this dude then pissed her off, all she got to do is say, "Negro, you ain't all that in the bed anyway."
Well, you're right, but equally, what Devin was saying about the body,
I get it. Yeah, like I get that. I do, but I think men are more sensitive when it comes to their sex game.
What you say again?
I've always said that men are more sex sensitive when it comes to their sex game than women. Men are very sensitive about that.
I can respect that. Okay, yeah, Black. What are some insecurities?
Well, I can tell you the sex part was never one for me.
Yes, we know.
You start out.
No.
And I'm not going where you think I'm going. I'm not going where you think I'm going. This is not. This is not bragging on anything, because that's never been my style. I've never been one to say I'm gonna knock that out the park or this, that, and the other. I'm grateful the way I'm built. I don't care if my dick get hard or soft in your head until it's been in there. So that's all that matters to me. So you say if you want to, I didn't ring your bell. Bitch has been in your head and tail. That's all that matters. So I don't care how I performed. It was there. That for me has always been good enough. So I don't care about that part. Yes. So I'm not ashamed of that part. Now, the insecurity part for me, to answer this, this was where I went with it. You know what for me is the most damaging is we're no longer teaching. I'm not going to speak to the women part. We got ladies on here that I would love to hear from them. Sherry, Demi, Cece, and Lady D. You know what the biggest insecurity that I find in today's relationships? Men aren't being taught to be men anymore. I got married at 21. I had no freaking clue on how to be a husband. I didn't grow up with a father. And the two brothers that I emulated the most, they're dead and gone. I robbed things from their personality, and I had my brother-in-law as an example to look from, but I had to figure this shit out along the way. And this was at a time when we still had somewhat of defined roles. Insecurities, where I see them manifest themselves more now, is the pretense that men know what the hell we're doing. And that is where the insecurities for me come into play. But there's a saying that people live by, especially this new generation: fake it till you make it. And so you have a lot of relationships out here where just because you put your pants on and put your belt through the hoops, I think there's far more men out there that don't have an absolute clue about how to lead. And you have far too many women being raised in households where they have to take the lead. So on my show, when I hear consistently is women talk about, I would love to have a man step in and make some of these hard decisions, but I'm not ready to hand the reins over to you when you have not demonstrated you have the ability to lead me to the right place. And so what I see in terms of insecurities in relationships is sometimes too often people are just fucking together with no clue about what direction they're going. In fact, in many cases, they're living separate lives. Your bank account, my bank account, and you have separate destinations. And so this stems from insecurity, that lack of confidence, and even knowing how to take the lead, especially as a man. I believe truly in my heart. Now, we could throw out the words like obey and all that kind of stuff. I know that triggers women, but I truly believe that a woman would certainly be open to having a man take the lead if he demonstrated a confidence and a maturity and had a track record of showing that he makes good decisions, but that's no longer even taught.
Yeah. It definitely comes from, in my opinion, like you said, a lack of being taught and just a lack of experience and a lack of an example. You know what I'm saying? Because again, insecurity, it comes because you've not seen security. And so again, where you
never saw it, Brenton.
Yeah. No, I
never saw it.
Yeah. And so I'm with you. And to the point of, if you don't know how to do something, yes, you're going to have a lot of holes and a lot of instability in this thing we call relationship. So yes, it's going to come with a lot of insecurity. Then would you say, there you go, Black. I was so blessed to have so many examples of men in my immediate family. It has made dating very difficult. I'm not settling. Yes, very good. So always, for sure. And again, these are just things to begin to have conversations, because what's not happening is we're not paying attention to each other anymore. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's just trying to get theirs. And again, we're partnering up, like y'all saying, and again, we're picking people that are pretending to be something that they're not. And again, and so it's just doing a lot of damage. And then y'all wanna, like you said, fake it. Y'all look good on social media. I'm telling y'all looking good.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm telling you, but again, the pictures can be really deceiving at times.
But what I want to say to Black, because he, mentioned asking or whatever, is a lot of women, because I don't want to speak for all, because there's some traditional women that want this man that's going to lead, and that, not me. I'd rather you be straight up honest with me. Don't lead me off no damn cliff, because here's the thing. If you just tell me the truth, then I feel like I can meet you where you are. And so then we can build on each other's like strengths. One of the things I hate the most, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, is toxic masculinity, because that comes with that faking leading shit, and you don't have a clue where to go, what you're doing, how you're gonna get there. We look up, we both got a 300 credit score, and I'm like, what happened? You told me you knew her. You know what I'm saying? I mean, then I develop resentment for your ass, and I don't like you no more. And then I don't respect you, and then I start to say things that I shouldn't say, and we can't come back from it, because that's just, once I don't respect you, I'm gonna start treating you and talking to you like a kid. You know what I'm saying?
And that's my point, sis. So imagine you ran into the guy though that his credit score is okay, and he's held his own roof over his head. He's not drowning in debt. And by watching him, you get to stand back and see that he makes good sound judgment and decisions. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Now, if that's the case, I know you're good, because if I'm someone who doesn't have good credit, then I'm like, okay, well, what do I need to do to fix my credit? Or if you say, I don't have any credit and we need to figure out how to do this together, then we're gonna get together and we're gonna figure out how to work on each other's stuff to see if we can make each other better. I personally have my own bank account in my relationship, but it has nothing to do with insecurities. It's because I don't own this house that I live in. And I don't give a damn what he say about putting me on it and all that shit. It's not my house. So I want to make sure if I ever get pissed off, because I do that sometimes, and if I want to pick up and go, I ain't got no problem putting down whatever, wherever I go. But that's just me. But I was also honest about that. And I said it from the beginning when we had conversations of a joint bank account and all of that.
And that's where I think women are better positioned than us. I don't know if that's passed down from woman to woman, if you've had a grandmother, a mother, or aunt. But I can tell you, with Black men especially, we don't pass those things down. it's three brothers on this panel. How many young brothers out there, somebody taking when they're 15, 16 and said, let me show you how to open a bank account? I know, Brent, you do it for your children, but you don't see that. I taught in charter school, and it'll blow your mind when you look at the young men. Why you think when they go out to rent an apartment, they're completely blown away that you have to make 3 times the income and have a good, clean rental history and this, that, and the other. And the woman has to get the apartment. It's not being passed down from.
You know what's funny, black women, especially black women. I'm gonna speak about black women. We don't know nothing. We are just thrown out there, and we have to figure it out. My reasoning for me having a bank account is because I have let somebody lead me off a cliff, and I had to pick up myself from the bootstraps and sleep in my mama's house with 3 kids until I saved up enough money to figure it out, because he cleaned me out of anger. So mine is based on experience. No one taught me anything. Like, as far as black women, a lot of times we have to mess up, just like y'all. You gotta figure it out. And I relationships that I see where both people are just transparent. I don't feel like in 2020, almost 5, that women should be so high and mighty and on some high horse that she expects this man to come in like a knight in shining armor and rescue her and do all these things. And she got to let him, allow him to be vulnerable and say where his shortcomings are and not look down on him. Because don't nobody want that man. That's the man that's going to treat you like shit if you allow him to come in and do that.
Okay, so that leads me to the next point that you guys are bringing up, because I get y'all started down there. We ain't coming back. So hold on. Yes. So again, pressures the opposite sex may not be aware of. And I'll start because I want to show y'all kind of where I'm headed with this. So there is a pressure for men that women may not understand, and that's us being vulnerable. I hear women, why y'all not vulnerable? Y'all don't want to be vulnerable. And I want to tell y'all something. Y'all put that pressure on us to want to be vulnerable with y'all. But here's the issue. If we are vulnerable with you and then you piss on us, then you're going to get this viciousness that Lee's talking about, because that's a part of us that is like, that's guarded very tightly. Like, that means you're asking us to show you emotions. Like, you, why you don't cry? I don't even know what that gets, because again, if you get dealing with a very irresponsible woman, you know what I'm saying, she'll use that and you punk and all this kind of stuff. And again, that's pressure for me, that you guys are wanting us to do something that if we do it, but y'all don't know if y'all even do it accidentally, that could cause a blow up, especially for me. Now, I'll just speak for me on that, because I don't
like more of an insecurity of yours.
See right there, right? You know, again, that's not an insecurity. I'm not insecure. I can be honest, but here's the honesty, because that's interesting that you say that. I'm being honest. I know I can be open and vulnerable if it's with the right person, but if it's not, and then you do something to upset, to like you say, you try to call it something that it's not, that's gonna make me mad. Not with you, because that we here now. Like, this us, so it's not like that. But for somebody else that's trying to, like you say, you're trying to find that trigger. But I like what you said, and so that's what I'm saying. Like, why can't it just be the honesty instead of it being called insecurity?
I think it can be both at the same time.
Okay.
Let me introduce my toxic masculinity in here.
Well, I want her to use her smart brain and tell me how
exactly the same person, and I'm a woman, but I've also been told I exert some masculine energy, whatever the fuck that means. But at the same time, I have a fear of being vulnerable, because I fear it being someone taking advantage of that, because someone has in the past, which has made it become one of my insecurities. I have a fear. I'm insecure about that now, because I don't trust anyone.
So you're doing some projecting?
Huh?
Or you doing some projecting on me?
No, but when you said that, it sounded just like me. That's exactly who I am, because I've done it before with more than one person. And on Mad Day, they either shit on me or threw it in my face or did whatever they could to hurt me with those, whatever I shared when I was being vulnerable. So I know that's an insecurity of mine now because I don't have trust.
Right.
I've been married, in a relationship with my husband now for 5 years, 6 years? Hell, I don't know. He's still never seen me cry, and I'm a woman. So I know that's a problem.
Okay. Yeah.
I know that's a problem because I've been created to be this person over the time because people have taken advantage of me when I have been vulnerable, and not just in relationships, family and friends and all of that as well. So that's what I was going to say.
Okay. Before I go to Black, Kenny, what are some pressures that women are not aware of from us that you know what I'm saying? And there's some reasoning behind it just to help some folks out because some men can't articulate.
I would say it's interesting we're talking about this because Black posted a video. I don't know if y'all watched the Pop the Balloon where they trying to date, and this particular clip showed this lady was basically saying she want a man that showers her with gifts and this and that. And you know, the one dude that step two is like, well, what makes you worthy of me wanting to shower you with gifts? Why would I do that? She couldn't really answer it. She couldn't answer it. So I think the pressure of, we talking about Black love, and I'm just kind of giving it from the dating perspective, with me being single, Black being, he knows that for men, we don't know what the hell women really want. So, you know, some women talk about they want to be showered with gifts, but okay, so you're just going to sit back and relax. And I got to do all the ripping and running and courting and this and that. And I think that's part of the game. And a lot of men, we face that pressure when we're talking about looking for love, and specifically Black love.
And that's interesting that you say that too, because, and I'm coming to you, Black, because again, for some men, they'll give the woman what they want, and then in reality, they don't even know what they want, because then when they get it, it's like they don't even want that now. And it's like, but then because
shiny toy at Christmas, you get,
because
exactly,
because this is how we are. And I say we. Again, I'm not generalizing. I'm just telling y'all these are some of the things y'all should be looking for. Men are we look to try to solve things. We want to fix it. We want to figure it out. And if it's on the list, we can get the list done, and boom, we're done. So if you tell me that's what you want, and then everybody ain't gonna do that. But I'm just saying, if he does it, he's thinking that he is doing well by you, and then all of a sudden you hit him with that okie doke. You done pull that goalpost up, and you done move it out into the barn. It's just causing problems. It's interesting how people just really act some type. Go ahead, Black.
So I'm gonna go toxic, but I acknowledge that I'm a Neanderthal. I'm a toxic male. I'm a chauvinist. Work in progress. And so the example Kenny is citing, I'm so glad he brought it up, because I'm not going to be vulnerable. And in the example he gave, the young lady was attractive enough, but she was completely incapable of articulating exactly what she wanted and why someone should put her on this pedestal and this, that, and the other. But the funny thing about it was, even though the guy was resistant to, he still was going to fuck with her. And ultimately he ended up popping the balloon, because in his defense, he was trying to ask questions, and basically gonna be too much work. So let me tell you what I take from that, and on this subject when it comes to being vulnerable, and that example that I posted it for a reason, because I believe what you say you want, you're a fucking lie. And let me say that with respect, that they're not making the Devons and the Demis and the CCs. You guys aren't growing on trees anymore. What's being populated out there, unfortunately, is the example of that young woman. And so it sounded great when she had her line together about, I want this, that, and blah, blah, blah. But the truth of the matter is, when you say you want a man to be vulnerable, you're fucking lying. The moment I break down and show that side to me, I'm some bitch ass nigga. The truth of the matter is, you like when I grab you by the scruff of your goddamn neck and piss all over your back and snatch your musty ass up and push you in a corner. And so don't sit here and lie and talk about being vulnerable, and that's what you want, and then share with me. No, you don't. I can't get a bitch looking like I look, showing up all neat clean. They want my pants sagging off my ass. They want me to be toxic. They like that it's getting cold. That bitch eat that soup and that chicken and sit your monkey ass down over there. They love that type of shit. And so you're a fucking lie to be talking about you want a man vulnerable and this, that, and the other. You lying bitch, you.
We'll be back.
This is a test. This is only.
Just saying. Okay.
And I mean that with so much love.
I know, ladies. That's for you. Thank you. They don't know how to take him. Okay. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, we're not talking, and so we're not telling y'all how we feel, and y'all tell us how y'all feel, but you may not really mean it. I don't know. So it just you know, right? It'd say, "Oh my goodness, yes, no, he's not." He says he says he's strategic about how he do it. So again, she said there are too many surface layers relationships. Who is taking time to pull back the layers, and that's right. And they're not, and we don't have time because again, we have made too much of a convenience to just move things along so quickly. Again, we're having sex by the third date and all that kind of stuff. So you know, yeah. Anyway, all right. Lastly, again. I just see these things happening in these holiday seasons. Saying I'm sorry. Do you say it? Number one. Okay.
Yeah, I'm about to tip out. I gotta go. Love y'all. See y'all next Monday.
Love you, night.
All right.
All right, bro.
Night.
Yes, sir. So saying I'm sorry. Do you say it? If you say it, why you say it? And do you really mean it if you're saying it? Why you saying it? I don't know, but is that something that you all subscribe to saying I apologize?
Not often.
Mm-hmm. But when you do say it, I guess you mean it.
If I say it and I really, really mean it, and I did something that I'm truly sorry for, I'm not for the fake I'm sorries. Like, don't tell me you sorry just for like little kids when you hit your little brother and your mama be like, go tell him you're sorry. And then 10 minutes later, you hit him in the head again. Like, I don't need you. Don't tell me you're sorry if you don't mean it. And I'm not going to tell you I'm sorry when I don't mean. Like, I remember sometimes, when I had to knock the hell out of my oldest daughter when she was, you know, when they get a certain age, they want to buck up to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember it didn't go well for her. And she was like, will you knock my glasses off or something, she said. And I was like, well, I'm sorry I did that. But if you talk to me like that again, I'm gonna do it again. So clearly I didn't mean it.
Right.
So it was more of a, I'm sorry you made me do that.
Manipulation sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, but in my relationship, I feel like I don't say I'm sorry often because I don't feel like I do enough to say I'm sorry for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Black, do you apologize?
I do.
Do you mean it?
I absolutely mean it. I sometimes make assumptions, you know, and I jump the gun. And so in relationships, friendships, and even family, Sherry, my sister, right on this show, we went head up when she stayed with me. And I mean, we went head up over certain things, but there was a resolution because the love is there. And I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it that way, you know? And so even in relationships, absolutely. I'm real big on recognizing when I got it wrong and when I misjudged or I made an assumption, and I have no issue whatsoever coming to that person and saying, baby, I'm so sorry. I didn't look at it that way. You know, I thought this, I thought that. That is really my personality, you know, to tell you that I got it wrong, you know, absolutely.
Yeah. I do think it's important, but it's also important not to say I'm sorry for the same thing over and over again.
Right now, yeah, you can't. Then it's disingenuous.
That's right, and that's manipulation. That's right. So I just want people to know, saying I'm sorry on its face value, it does not mean anything to me if you're gonna turn around and do the same thing again tomorrow. I think you need to get medication. I don't even
like the words I'm sorry. They actually irk me.
Wow.
I don't like it because if you have somebody say, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, and your behavior never changes, then every time you say, I'm sorry to me, I don't even believe you. It actually makes me mad because now I think you gaslight me and you playing with me.
Right.
Because you said, I'm sorry the first 3 times and you didn't do anything different. I'd rather you say to me, you know what, I was wrong.
Right. And then know why.
This is what I'm going to do better. I'd rather you say that to me than say the words, I'm sorry, because those sound like BS to me.
Gotcha.
Right. And I'd rather see your apology than I hear it. It just means more.
And that's what I do. When I said it early at the beginning of the show, the tongue is a mighty weapon. There's things that in relationship that have come out that was so unintentional. And I've had to say, baby, I did not mean it that way. I'm so sorry. But now to your point, Lady D, I know now not to say that again. You know what I'm saying? I give you a quick example. Young lady I was in love with her as much as I was with my wife. We sitting in a club and the waitress comes over, and blah, blah, blah. Hey, what's up, sweetheart, blah, blah. I didn't think nothing of it. My woman was pissed off. And we got into it as the club was closing. She felt I was being too flirtatious. I grinned a little too hard and whatnot.
Right.
To this day, I didn't see it that way, but I had to respect that for her, that was a little too familiar. And going forward from that point on, I had to stifle that part of my personality, whether we was going to a movie or to a dinner, because I knew it bothered her, Lady D. So my thing was, we argued on the spot, a bad argument over that, But even when I got home, I said, baby, I'm sorry. That was never my intention. I'm being nice. Now, I was angry at the fact that she had got up and shook her ass all night long and danced with people, and I just kind of spoke to a waitress, and here I am getting it. But okay, we're going to leave that alone.
My goodness.
If you're a person who says I'm sorry and it's genuine and your behavior changes,
and I never did it again. But
if you're that person if you're that I'm sorry every 30 minutes, it's just I never did it again, because for her that was whatever a trigger. I don't know. Maybe she had a boyfriend. I don't know. But I didn't. I didn't do it again.
Yeah, Demi, I don't see them different. Again, just words.
Me neither. That's what I say. But
but
it's what we learning about women.
Yeah, it's for me. It's the actions afterwards. That's where you're gonna get. That's where you're gonna get me. Like learning from the mistake. I don't believe that people shouldn't make mistakes. I think there are people out there.
Can I raise one quick point on this? Can I raise one quick point?
Yeah.
This is a true example. There was a couple that I counseled not too long ago. Now, let me be clear when I say I counsel. I tell couples 1,000 times, there is nothing I can tell you about how to make a relationship work. I can tell you the shit that don't work. So I wasn't counseling from the perspective that I got it figured out. Clearly I don't, but I can tell you what don't work. And this couple, they came to me and on this subject. Guess what? They got into an argument. I ain't gonna say what it's about. And days had gone by and had festered and this, that, and the other. And the person called me and said, bro, what should I said, go home and apologize. But I wasn't wrong. She did this. Doesn't matter. You're the husband. She has children. They're watching you. And my advice to him was, sometimes you have to be wrong. I said, when you get off work today, go get some flowers, some candy, and you walk in and how Dan spoke for 3 days, and he was sleeping on the couch at this point. And I said, you grab your wife and said, look, we can't have another night like this, because she had already let it go too far. This is the funny part about I'm sorry. The moment he apologized, Demi, or whoever said that, she flooded him over with, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean that. But she was going to hold it to the end, to the bitter end, until he said he apologized, even though he didn't initiate it. So when I hear that comment, it's very true how for women, there's a difference between apologize and I'm sorry. And sometimes it matters who says it first, this, that, and the other. But this couple, they thanked me to no end for helping them see that, you guys, again, don't ever let the sun set without apologizing and saying, I'm sorry if you wronged one another, because I seen that kill a relationship.
Yeah.
And I want to see you guys win.
What up, Craig? He says, is it easier for men or for women to accept an apology?
Woo.
I don't know. I can only speak for
depending
me.
on the infraction.
Yeah, it has to be sincere. Again, I think this is a case-by-case basis.
Mm-hmm.
I can accept an apology if I believe it's sincere.
Yeah.
And the
I
only
know
way I'm going
toxic women who say I'm sorry all the time and it don't mean nothing, because then they'll turn around and do the exact same thing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it depends on the infraction for me. If it's something, again, that it's not truly important, but now you do something that has consequences, how you represent me or you or us.
Yeah. And I will say this. I've experienced situations where I feel like I have to walk on eggshells because everything is misunderstood. And even again, I was held to a situation where I can't make a mistake. I need to be able to make mistakes. And then again, I kind of grow. So again,
Absolutely.
Everything can't be overly heightened. Like, oh my God, you just did me like this. Okay, well then maybe I didn't know that I did that. Oh, how got you not? Okay, so then at that moment, girl, you listen. You need to go see somebody for that. You know what I'm saying? Not me. Yeah. So again, it's just having the conversation, and that's all we do. And again, I appreciate my family for doing that with me, just because it just helps to other people to articulate conversation. And I thank you all for honing in and coming in and participating, because the more we talk about things, the more we're able to hash those things out. Because sometimes you can't talk to people you're close to because y'all know too much of each other's business. So again, when you talking to other people that don't know how crazy or ugly or silly you are, maybe you can learn some things and then take it back to that situation. You know what I'm saying? So again, and I will say this, if you leave a situation and y'all upset and you go and figure out some ways, make sure you come back to that situation and let them know, hey, I figured something out, instead of getting right back into it because they still mad. All they know is you left mad. So make sure you come back in and communicate. So it's really interesting when you say all that. But thank y'all so much. And again, I know it ain't the normal giggly and all that kind of stuff, but we'll be back. We're going to get to work next week. I promise you. But again, I just feel like it's necessary, because this platform for me is not just about us having fun, but also just heightening our sense of awareness when it comes to relationships, because y'all, we're going to need them. We this country in bad shape, man. America did a good job of jacking itself up. Y'all let the Trojan horse in now, and y'all finna find out what's about to go on. So, but anyway, all right, y'all. Listen, final thoughts time. I tried to move it along, but Kenny gonna get out here. He's working hard, y'all. So, ladies, just know he out there working hard to give up that money if y'all need him. So, just no, I'm just playing. So, all right, listen. I appreciate you all for what y'all do so much, sister. Give me your final thoughts, please.
I feel like I always learn a lot from doing this, believe it or not. Like I feel like I learn about me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all forced me to take a deeper look at myself. And from this conversation tonight, it ain't gonna happen. But I realized that I need to learn how to get over stuff, because I don't know if it's because I'm a Libra. I don't know what it is. I'm guilty of holding a grudge. Like when you just said, come back later and be like, I got a solution. If I come back later, I'm gonna be like, I still don't F with you, but because you know what I'm saying? We're gonna figure out how to coexist. You know what I'm saying? But I don't trust you. You know, so I learned how to fake it in relationships, just for the sake of getting along or whatever, or because I'm supposed to, because they are filling the blank. And what I need to learn to work on, and I don't even know where to start, which is why I say I know it ain't gonna happen, is how do I let go of grudges and animosity because once I don't trust you, or once I have resentment for you, I don't give a damn about you. I don't care. somebody got to make me care. Somebody got to call me and say, now, Devin, you know better. And I'd be like, I really don't give a damn, but okay, this is what you need. You know, even Christmas presents. My sister's like, we buying Christmas present for such and such. Why? I don't even know them like that. They made my kids. So I'm learning how to let stuff go and not hold a grudge. I don't know where to start. I don't know the solution. I just know it's a problem that I have that y'all identified, and it is what it is. I guess I live with it.
Well, you made it this far. And you don't stay in that house, honey.
Y'all let stuff go. Be the bigger person.
Or just go on vacation every other week, honey. That's what she does. Anyway. Yeah, right. Black, I appreciate it, man. What you got for us?
Well, I'll just say, in case y'all don't know, that's why this is the first lady of the show. She is the glue that holds this thing together, and we love us some Lady D. And I'll go a step further, and why I appreciate the Black Love series is because y'all give me hope, actually. As I said, for me, I didn't have a good example of how to be a husband. I had to figure it out on my own, and I failed at it. And it damaged me to a point where I never married again. Now, I've been in relationships after my marriage. But what I love about discussing this type of thing is that clearly I got lots of issues. Having said that, though, just like the devil has an all-out attack on family, there is an all-out attack on Black love. And it's sad for me, and it doesn't help me that the images that are portrayed are ones that disgust me. When you see the fake relationships, the social media, the built up stuff. And so I'm so grateful that in real life, I know people like Devin who's in a marriage, while not perfect, but making it work. I have a shining example of my brother Brenton, who's a family man, godly man, and again, while not perfect, making it work. I have a couple on my platform that is in a second relationship in there, in a blended family, and making it work. It holds out hope for me that despite the attack on Black love, there are real examples of people out there that's figuring it out. And so when I hear Demi J's comments, it gives me hope that there's still really good women that want something true and real out there. Not everybody is the shake your ass type, let's make it work type, I'm a queen type thing. And so I love having these conversations because nowhere else are they having them.
Correct.
The effery and the foolishness is what gets all the attention. And so I want to tell you, my brother, in 2025, don't let up. Please don't stop, because like Devin is learning, I'm learning, and it helps me. And I truly, truly appreciate you breaching these topics because it gives me hope. What's up, Brittany?
Hey, Brittany. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate that. I agree. The topics are always on point.
And we get the wisdom of Sherry and Cece. I will be remiss. My sister's been married for 30-something years. Yeah. Don't let her fool you. She ain't going nowhere, and he ain't going nowhere. And Miss Carol, the wisdom you infuse, we need that.
Yeah, I will say I think he ain't going nowhere because he's scared, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think she'll cut you.
Seriously, Sheridan told us, if you ain't doing this, I'll cut you out. If you ain't doing this, I'll kill you.
He might disappear. She gonna be like, I don't know. He went to get cigarettes. I ain't seen him since.
You hear, sis, don't you?
Brother, just ask for help. Matter of fact, don't do that. I'm mine. I don't get listen. Lord have mercy. Yeah, so listen, for sure. Always listen. I appreciate y'all because again, like I say, I've become a better person because I'm able to have conversations and be able to infuse that into my own relationship at times. And so, no, man, we're not. We're going to stay on the gas. But y'all know me. I'm here. We got 2 more shows after this, and we're going to get it going. But I got a question. What are you willing to risk in a relationship? Are you willing to risk anything? Like, is there something that is, I'll risk this for the sake of the relationship? Is there something you're willing to risk in order to, be in a relationship or have a good relationship? Sheridan said, Well, brother, I kept my marriage. I'm still learning how to keep it together. Listen, you just keep that knife sharp. I promise you, honey. No,
I'll risk what she's willing to risk.
Okay. Okay. So if it ain't nothing, she ain't getting nothing. All right. And if it's a lot, you're gonna risk a lot with it. Okay.
I'll match that energy.
Match that energy. Okay. Sister.
I'm willing to risk as much time as I would like to be alone.
I'm with you, Brenda. I have to.
Okay. You willing to risk the time? Because I mean, you saying your alone time is very important to you.
Correct. And instead of 3 hours, I'll just have 45 minutes.
Wow. That's 2 hours and 15 minutes, bruh.
Okay.
Okay. That's what's up. Well, listen, I appreciate that. That was some real good stuff. I apologize. I'm about to mess it up, but go sorry, but again, take a look at this, and I'll just have my point on the other end of this. Hold on. He didn't hit him.
Why is he skating in the street?
On the highway or wherever the hell he was.
I'm just telling y'all. I'm sorry. Okay, listen. All I'm saying in this moment, please, if you are gonna take a risk in a relationship, just make sure, like you said, why is he on that? Just make sure you're on the right path and you're doing it for the right reason. Because listen, it may be a nice little old 4x4 truck, 18 was coming and will bust you wide open. That's right. Yeah. So y'all be careful out there. Listen, y'all start risking it for some strange change and stuff like that, because it ain't gonna help. And risking it for these irresponsible women. And listen, all them women I'm leaving fooling with, y'all don't take that risk with them because they crazy. But listen, on behalf of Kenny in his absence, but Devin and Lee, we gonna see y'all on Monday. I promise you, unless my daddy have another wreck in my car. But we out here. Later.